In lesson 4.7 practice challenge, solve the equation using any method. So I will show both methods and you can use whichever one you think is easier. One of the first things I notice is that we have both fractions and decimals. So I'm going to just start off with the distributive property in solving this, but I'm going to rewrite the equation minus 3 times n plus 0.25 equals 17.25. So I know that 1/4 is equal to 0.25. So I'm going to use the distributive property. So I multiply minus 3 times n, and that will get me minus 3n. Then minus 3 times 0.25, that'll be minus 0.75. That's equal to 17.25. Next, I need to add 0.75 to both sides. So I'm going to have minus 3n is equal to 18. I divide both sides by minus 3, and I'm going to have n is equal to minus 6. Now, if I simplify this, I'm going to divide both sides by minus 3. So this is going to leave me n plus 1/4, which seems easier. But when I have 17.25, then I'll need to possibly use a calculator or really work it out. 17.25 divided by 3, it's 5. 15.7 is 21. So 5.75. And then I change the 1/4 to 0.25. And it's negative, so it's going to be negative 0.75. So I'm going to have to subtract 0.25 from both sides. So n is equal to minus 6. Now if I do a check, minus 3 times minus 6 plus, I'm going to put the decimal, so equal to 17.25. Minus 3 times minus 6 is 18. Now minus 3 times 0.25 minus 0.75, which would equal 17.25. And I have done my check. It is correct. So my answer, just to highlight and make sure that it's very clear, is n is equal to minus 6. Using both the distributive property and simplify, you can use whichever one is easier. With this particular question, I find the distributive property easier just because I don't want to have to divide 17.5 divided by 3. But either one works, whatever you find easier.